or just a better camera. And speaking of better cameras,
Yep.
we're Sony shooters, me and Sebastian.
100%.
Yeah. And a lot of people, there's been a lot of, if you're into cameras, so if you're not into cameras, you can learn something. But if you are into cameras,
Yes.
this is a really good time to be a photographer, videographer right now.
100%.
There's the Canon's dropping the R series. They're upgrading it, going to more other mirrorless bodies. The R5, the R6.
Yep.
We got the Sony a7S III,
Yep. S3.
and what is there? The Nikon just still has a Z6.
I believe, yeah, it is the Nikon Z6, but I mean,
No one gets that.
Yeah, no.
But we're Sony fanboys. So the Sony a7S III is coming, and this would not happen. The overheating in 4K 24 frames a second, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen if this was not a Sony a7S III.
Nope.
For all I know right now, the camera could have overheated already. I wouldn't even know.
Yeah, we could have had like a whole conversation. Wouldn't have known that the camera overheated.
Yeah. So you think you're going to upgrade?
I am 100% gonna upgrade. The reason why is because I've realized that I need personally a better video camera. I believe what I have is decent enough for my pictures, but the 120 frames at 4K and also I believe 8K at 24, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, actually no. They didn't tap in the 8K.
But still, 6K at 120, and with the Atomos Ninja monitor, you'll be able to shoot RAW. I feel like it's the best bang for your buck.
Yeah. I mean, do you think that it's going to dominate the video industry after, or do you think that it's going to do you think it's like the R5 is really going to give it a run for its money?
I 100% believe that the R5 is going to give him a run for the money, because the Canon R5 is a better overall camera. When it comes to practical use, being able to switch from video to picture and having all the great quality, but it's just not as trusting and practical when it comes to like long jobs. Like, for example, if you're actually doing video for a wedding, it's gonna be difficult. Like,
I would never use that.
Yeah, you shouldn't shoot the R5, especially if you're gonna be shooting 8K or 4K the whole way. Doing that with the R5 is a little risky.
Would you say that a photographer would be more suitable? Like a event photographer would be more suitable for the R5 then?
100%. That I believe that would be that's gonna be the event camera
for photographers.
For photographers, or actually videographers as well. When it comes to like small events, for example, if let's say you're only doing shooting B-rolls, you're only doing like small clips where you can have resting periods in between clips, then the R5 is 100% your go-to camera. Yeah. But if you feel like you're gonna be doing long establishing shots, just like right now, where you have to do like 10 to 20 of nonstop shooting, then yeah, the R5 will put you down. So you're better off with the S3.
Sony. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think it's a smart move for Sony, just because they didn't throw in the extra stuff. Like if they put in 8K compatibility, then they wouldn't be able to put this amazing cooling system they put in, in the new camera, which allows it to shoot. I've heard people shooting in 4K 120 in the desert and not really having any issues. Not saying that it doesn't overheat.
It does overheat. It's not the world best camera.
But I would say that it wouldn't overheat in 4K 24, I would think. Like you could probably shoot it for like 2 hours as long as you have the batteries. It'll be fine.
Yeah, as long as you don't, OD with the heat and the amount of
120.
Yeah, and you don't add too many devices and stuff like that. Like you should be good.
It's pretty crazy. And how long do you think that it would be for us to have that camera where we wouldn't have to upgrade?
Well, what do you mean?
Like how long do you think like that camera will last us, like as creators, like where we don't feel like our stuff is outdated?
Well, considering that in the market right now, there's no mirrorless DSLRs that's doing 4K 120 right now, other than the S3, the R5, and that's it, right? The Nikon Z6 isn't reaching that. So
I think it's just 4K 24 on the Nikon.
Yeah. So considering that's brand new when it comes to the mirrorless portable DSLR type cameras. Yep. I believe that this camera should at least last us for about like 3 to 5 years, because by then I believe the technology is gonna
6K.
Yeah, it's gonna get better and better. By the time that within like 2 to 3 years, 6K is gonna probably become the new 4K, which is gonna be the norm.
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna keep upgrading.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I always, with technology, it's easy to fall behind, and if you always want to have like the best, newest stuff, then you're always going to be behind. But
100%.
But I would say that overall bang for your buck for videographers, even photographers, I think that it'll still be a really good choice, because we saw a lot of tutorials with like certain photographers. For Sony, for the photography. Basically, the only difference that when it comes to the sensors, because that is a drawback, is the 12 megapixel sensor.
Yeah.
Which is weird that they would even put a 12 megapixel sensor. But they did that because apparently that helps with the low light capabilities.
Exactly. And considering that in my specific situation where I'm always shooting at low light situations, I believe that it's gonna be very helpful. And you too. Most of the videos and the events that you end up shooting ends up being between golden hour and nighttime. Exactly. Yeah. So I believe that 100% the Sony is probably the best bang for your buck. Yeah. Not to say that if you don't have the Sony A7S, I mean, not the Sony A7 III or any Canons, or you can still have great quality shots even with not a expensive camera.
Or the newest.
Yeah, the newest camera.
I mean, I shoot the Sony A7 III, and I think it's going to be a great brother camera to it, or it seems like it's going to be his father, Yeah,
100%.
So. Oh, I didn't even hear that. You want to put her on the podcast? You can put her on.
Okay. But that's what's most important. Yeah, the camera is important. Yeah, the lenses are extremely important.
Extremely.
But something that's very, very important that not a lot of people talk about and that's crucial is definitely lighting. Invest in lighting.
Or just invest in learning lighting. You don't have to spend a lot of money, but
100%. Like that's something that I had to learn the hard way, and it took me years of doing that. Instead of investing on certain props or anything like that, I should have been investing more in lighting. And I believe that now it definitely it shows that it's really more important.
100%.